Seeing no further discussion, the chair recognizes the gentleman from Haskell, Representative Hite, for closing remarks on Senate File 634.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the House. For those of you that fell asleep, I'll give you a little bit of an opportunity to wake up here. I had a conversation with one of my fellow legislators earlier before all this debate started, a fellow lawyer, and that legislator told me, Representative Hite, I hope you don't take any of this personal. I said, I've been in a lot of court cases, arguments. I don't take it personal unless it's made personal. Ladies and gentlemen, this was made personal tonight. The question was asked earlier whether or not this bill was brought to kill our small rural communities. You must not know me then. I grew up in a small town, went away to college, went away to law school. You know where I chose to go back to? My small town. New Sharon, Iowa, a town of 1,300 people. The mayor of the city of New Sharon for the past 7 years till I had to resign to take this job. Ladies and gentlemen, small towns are what I care about. They mean the most to me. The motives of this bill are questioned that it's to take away IPERS from our city employees, from our county employees. Nothing could be further from the truth. I had 4 full-time employees at my city. 4 full-time employees at my city. The hardest thing about taking this job and leaving that job was leaving those 4 employees. They were great. They did God's work for my city. I would never do anything to affect their IPERS. This bill is about small-town Iowa. This bill is about small-town Iowa taxpayers. Let's talk a little bit about the things that we heard today. We'll just get the big one out of the way. IPERS 411. Nothing in this bill changes Chapter 97B. That's IPERS. Nothing in this bill changes Chapter 411, Chapter 412, or any other pension. Doesn't do it. Find it for me that it does. Nothing in this bill changes IPERS, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't. So then we get the argument that, well, it's about the trust and agency fund or the supplemental levy for the county. Here's the problem when you give the lawyer the floor, he loves the code. Trust and agency fund is Chapter 384 of our Iowa Code, Section 6. This is the part that says, a city may certify taxes to be levied for a trust and agency fund in the amount necessary to meet its obligations. You won't find anything else in there about a limit. This bill changes nothing of that. Same applies to the county supplemental levy. Changes nothing of that. I heard a comment earlier. I took notes. I apologize. I don't know who said the comment. We've had a lot of them tonight and this morning. But that we're raiding pension funds. That's not possible with IPERS. It's simply not possible. The city and the county is required to pay it. They pay it at the rate that we tell them or the state tells them. That's it. They don't get a choice. They have to pay it. Representative Wheeler hit the nail on the head. If it's required, how can it be in competition with anything? It's required. This bill doesn't reduce it, doesn't eliminate it, doesn't make IPERS mandatory. This bill is not about IPERS, ladies and gentlemen. It's a property tax bill. It's a property tax bill. It's a property tax bill that my constituents like, my taxpayers like. Talk to my city manager, are okay with it. Talk to the mayor of my hometown, Mayor Lamberson, who replaced me. She's okay with it. It's a few more steps, making sure the public knows what's going on, making sure the public understands how the levy rate and valuation mesh together, how that's going to affect their taxes. That's okay. That seems like local control. Let the taxpayers know what's going on. That's what this bill does. Doesn't affect diapers. Doesn't do any of that other stuff. We talked about home rule. Again, the code. Home rule is enshrined in our Constitution. Got two sections, Section 38A and 39A of Article 3. Not going to read the whole thing to you. Well, actually, I am. Sorry. Municipal corporations are granted home rule power and authority not inconsistent with the laws of the General Assembly to determine their local affairs and government. The first rule of law school is keep reading. Except that they shall not have power to levy any tax unless expressly authorized by the General Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, this bill coincides perfectly with home rule. There's a similar provision for counties. This bill coincides perfectly with home rule. Give cities and counties home rule. They have it. But it says the power to tax lies with us. Power to regulate that ability to tax lies with us. That's what we're doing. Now, we're not changing what a city or county can levy. We haven't changed a single cap in this bill. Cities have $8.10. Counties have $3.50 and $3.95. Didn't change that. As I said before, trust in agencies, uncapped. We do have a provision that says if it's going to grow more than 2%, you need a 2/3 majority. And we've heard about how that's going to hamstring our cities, and it's not going to be good, and they're not going to be able to do the things they want. And we heard they're not going to pay IPERS, but we know that's not true. We also heard a lot of resolutions tonight. I think everybody said they were unanimous. So they can get a vote for a resolution that's unanimous. I don't think it's too much to ask that 2/3 vote to raise your taxes. We had a lot of discussion tonight about IPERS, about how we're affecting IPERS, how we're affecting pensions. We're talking about a city and county budget process, ladies and gentlemen of the House. Is this a conversation we're going to have every time we talk about money? That somehow when Republicans want to help taxpayers, we're affecting IPERS. Ladies and gentlemen, this doesn't do that. We are told, I heard it, to think about our own communities. I heard it, let's put ourselves in the shoes of what we're trying to impose. I sat back and thought, how would have I operated my city under this proposal? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it would have been much different. We would have had 7 more public hearings. Might have had some more people at my budget hearing because they now understand it a little bit better. But the things we did, still would have done them. We still had the support, still would have added on to our fire station, still would have added to our police force. All of that would not have been affected by this. We heard the statement that uniform caps are not good. Every city's different. I'd ask you to look at the code. We have uniform caps in place. We're not changing that. It's $8.10. It's $8.10 for the city of Des Moines, the largest city in the state of Iowa. It's $8.10 for Keoma Village, a town of about 45 people in Representative Brink's district. We're not changing any of that. This bill is about our taxpayers. Those are the people that elected us to be here. Our constituents, our friends, our family. Representative Wheeler had a good point. We talked, feels a little odd. I think I said that twice, Representative Wheeler. We talked about the lobbyists registered against this bill. You know who doesn't have a lobby? My neighbor. You know how they lobby? They come over to the fence, talk to me while I'm mowing. You know what they talk about? Property taxes. They don't have a lobby to register in favor of this. They just say they're in favor of it. They tell me, they tell you. I think there's one point that Democrats and Republicans agreed on tonight. There's no guarantee that this bill lowers property taxes. It's not the intent of the bill. They might go down, probably not go up because we're at that cap anyway, but they might go down. But what it does is it gives taxpayers the tools, the knowledge to help guide that decision. We're not telling cities, lower your taxes. We're saying, tell the people the information they need to know on whether you should lower their taxes. I come back to what I said before. Anybody thinks that I would ever support anything that is intended to kill our small towns or our public employees that have worked for our cities and counties just doesn't know me. With that, Mr. Speaker, I move Senate File 634.